My name is Suzanne Naughton and I'm the Technical Veterinary Advisor in the Midlands region for MSD Animal Health. They should be looking for a calf that looks in good general health, is thriving, has no obvious discharge from its eyes, no obvious discharge from the nasal passages as well, from its nose. Also that it's not coughing or showing obvious signs of respiratory disease like rapid breathing or anything like, or wheeziness. And also that there's no signs of scour. That there's no staining on the back end of the calf, and the calf is in good general form. Another important point as well when sourcing calves and buying calves is try to minimise the number of potential sources. If they are coming from cows that have been vaccinated against your rotavirus and your coronavirus and E. coli infections, once they've gotten the adequate amounts of colostrum for the necessary time, they will have a much stronger immune system. So vaccination is so important, and what we're doing with vaccination, we're essentially boosting that calf, that animal's immune system against the various bacteria or viruses that are present in the environment. Ideally, we would tend to recommend about 24 hours, let the animals settle first, and then go in with your vaccines then. Vaccinating against the common viruses and bacteria that can cause respiratory diseases is so important. So one vaccine in particular, Bovipast RSP, is specifically licensed to reduce infection associated with Mannheimia hemolytica or pasteurellosis, and the PI3 and BRSV viruses as well. There is also, as many people are aware, IBR is an extremely common virus in herds as well, and can affect young stock as well. So Bovilis IBR marker live can actually be conveniently used on the same day as Bovipast RSP. Only vaccinate healthy animals that are not showing any signs of disease, be it coughing, respiratory disease, or even scour, high temperatures, anything like that, because of course they might not respond as well to the vaccine as they should. So another important one as well is coverage against the clostridial diseases, which is a very important, a very common cause of sudden death. Vaccination would be seen as a reliable method in reducing the incidence of those disease outbreaks and sudden death occurring on farm. What would be recommended would be something like Tribovax 10, and oftentimes infections like cryptosporidium infections, as well as coccidiosis, can spill over. Of course, maintaining good management is very important with reducing the incidence of these diseases, as well as maintaining a clean environment, clean, adequate bedding. Of course, treatment and prevention of these nasty infections would be best advised to, of course, get in touch with your local veterinary practitioner. Using an effective worming regime is incredibly important in reducing the negative effects of parasite burdens like lack of thrive, scour infections. Young stock in particular are at risk of parasitic burdens because they have little or no immunity built up as a result of having no exposure to these infections out on pasture, and in particular lungworm infections as well. A suitable wormer can be selected from the three different drug classes: your avermectins, your white drenches and your levamisols. Getting dung samples in regularly, either dropping them to your local veterinary practice or to the local lab to get a diagnosis and see what levels of worm burdens are there. Resistance to some of these wormers is of course becoming a lot more commonplace on certain farms, and I suppose if resistance has been diagnosed on your farm, it would be best to get in touch with your local veterinary practitioner, as they would be best to advise you on what worming protocol to put in place on your farm.